Good night. Tonight I'm going to read chapter 6 on the coming in this world of Lakshmi, Ganga and Saraswati in book 9, the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratu Namakai Kudi Surisa. Priyam Tat Sat. Narayana said, O Narada, Saraswati lives always in Vaikunta, close to Narada. One day a quarrel arose with Ganga, and by her curse Saraswati came in parts as a river here in this Bharata. She is reckoned in Bharata as a great, sanctifying, holy and merit-giving river. The good persons serve her always, residing on her banks. She is the tapasya and the fruit thereof of the ascetics. She is like the burning fire to the sins of the sinners. Those that die in Bharata on the Saraswati waters, with their full consciousness, live forever in Vaikunta, the council of Hari. Those that bathe in the Saraswati waters, after committing sins, becomes easily freed of them and live for a long time in Vishnu Loka. If one bathes even once in the Saraswati waters during Chaturmasa, a vow that lasts 4 months, in full moon time, in Aksyaya, when the day ends in Vyati Pata Yoga, in the time of eclipse or on any other holy day, or through any other concomitant cause, concomitant cause, or even without any faith or out of sheer disregard, one is able to go to Vaikunta and get the nature of Sri Hari. If one repeats the Saraswati mantra reciting on the banks of the Saraswati for 1 month, a great illiterate can become a great poet. There is no doubt in this. Once shaving one's head, if one resides on the banks of the Saraswati, daily baths in it, one will have not to meet with the pain of being again born in the womb. O Narada, thus I have described a little of the unbounded glories of Bharata that gives happiness and the fruits of all desires. Sutta said, O Sonaka, the Muni Narada, hearing thus, asked again at that very moment to solve his doubts. I am now speaking of that here. Narada said, O Lord, how did the Devi Saraswati quarrel with the Devi Ganga, and how did she, by her curse, turn out in India into a holy river in giving virtues? I am becoming more and more eager and impatient to hear about this critical incident. I did not find satiety in drinking your nectar-like words. Who finds satiety in getting his good will? Why did Ganga curse Saraswati? Worshipped everywhere. Ganga is also full of sattva gunas. She always bestows good and virtue to all. Both of them are fairy, and it is pleasant to hear the cause of quarrels between these two. These are very rarely found in the Puranas, so you ought to describe that to me. Narayana said, Hear, O Narada, I will now describe that incident, the hearing of which removes all the sins. Lakshmi, Saraswati and Ganga, the 3 wives of Hari, and all equally loved remain always close to Hari. One day Ganga cast sidelong glances frequently towards Narayana and was eagerly looking at him. With a smile on her lips, seeing this, the Lord Narayana startled and looked at Ganga and smiled also. Lakshmi saw that, but she did not take any offense. But Saraswati became very angry. Padma, Lakshmi, who was of Sattva Guna, began to console in various ways the wrathful Saraswati. But she could not be appeased by any means. Rather, her face became red out of anger. She began to tremble out of her feelings, passions. Her lips quivered and she began to speak to her husband. The husband that is good, religious and well qualified looks on all the wives equally. But it is just the opposite with him who is a cheat. O Gadadhara, you are partial to Ganga, and so is the case with Lakshmi. I am the only one that is deprived of your love. It is therefore that Ganga and Padma are in love with each other. For you love Padma, why shall not Padma bear the contrary thing? I am only unfortunate. What use is there in holding my life? Her life is useless who is deprived of her husband's love. Those that declare you of Sattva Gunas ought not to be ever called Pandits. They are quite illiterate. They have not the least knowledge of the Vedas. They are quite impotent to understand the nature of your mind. O Narada, hearing Saraswati's words and knowing that she had become very angry, Narayana thought for a moment and then went away from the Zenana outside. When Narayana had thus gone away, Saraswati became fearless and began to abuse Ganga, downright out of anger in an abusive language, hard to hear. O shameless one, O passionate one, what pride do you feel for your husband? Do you like to show that your husband loves you much? I will destroy your pride today. I will see today, in which, by seen by others also, what your Hari can do for you. Saying thus, Saraswati rose up to catch hold of Ganga by her hairs violently. Padma intervened to stop this. Saraswati became very violent and cursed Lakshmi. No doubt you will be turned into a tree and into a river, inasmuch as seeing this undue behavior of Ganga, you do not step forward to speak anything in this assembly. As if you are a tree or a river, Padma did not become at all angry, even when she heard of the above curse. She became sorry and, holding the hands of Saraswati, remained silent. Then Ganga became very angry. Her lips began to quiver frequently. Seeing the mad fairy nature of the red-eyed Saraswati, she told Lakshmi, O Padme, leave that wicked foul-mouthed woman. What will she do to me? She presides over speech and therefore likes always to remain with quarrels. Let her show her force, how far she can quarrel with me. She wants to test the strength of us, so leave her. Let all know today our strength and prowess. Thus saying, Ganga became ready to curse Saraswati, and addressing Lakshmi, said, O dear Padme, as that woman has cursed you to become a river, so I too curse her, that she too be turned into a river, and she would go to the abode of men, the sinners, to the world, and take their heaps of sins. Hearing this curse of Ganga, Saraswati gave her curse. You too will have to descend into the Bhurloka, the world, as a river, taking all the sins of the sinners. O Narada, while there was going on this quarrel, the four-armed omniscient Bhagavan Hari came up there, accompanied by the four attendants of his, all four-armed, and took Saraswati in his breast, and began to speak all the previous mysteries. Then they came to know the cause of their quarrels, and why they cursed one another, and all became very sorry. At that time, Bhagavan Hari told them one by one. O Lakshmi, let you be born in parts without being born in any womb. If the world as the daughter in the house of the king Dharma Dwaja, you will have to take the form of a tree there. Out of this evil turn of fate, there Shankachuda, the Indra of the Asuras, born of my parts, will marry you. After that, you will come back here and be my wife as now. There is no doubt in this. You will be named Tulasi, the purifier of the three worlds in Bharata. O beautiful one, now go there quickly and be a river in your parts under the name Padmavati. O Gange, you will also have to take incarnation in Bharata as a river, purifying all the worlds to destroy the sins of the inhabitants of Bharata. Bhagirath will take you there after much entreating and worshipping you, and you will be famous by the name Bhagirathi, the most sanctifying river in the world. There the ocean, born of my parts, and the king, Shantanu, also born of my parts, will be your husbands. O Bharata, let you go also and incarnate. O Bharati, let you go also and incarnate in part in Bharata under the curse of Ganga. O good-natured one, now go in full amsas to Brahma and become his wife. Let Ganga go also in her fullness to Shiva. Let Padma remain with me. Padma is of a peaceful nature, void of anger, devoted to me, and of a sattvic nature. Chaste, good-natured, fortunate, and religious women like Padma are very rare. Those women that are born of the parts of Padma are all very religious and devoted to their husbands. They are peaceful and good-natured and worshipped in every universe. It is forbidden, nay, opposed to the Vedas, to keep 3 wives, 3 servants, 3 friends of different natures at one place. They never conduce to any welfare. They are the fruitful sources of all jealousy and quarrels, where in any family females are powerful like men and males are submissive to females. The birth of the males is useless. At his every step he meets with difficulties and bitter experiences. He ought to retire to the forest, whose wife is foul-mouthed, of bad birth and fond of quarrels. The great forest is better for him than his house. That man does not get in his house any water for washing his feet, or any seat to sit on, or any fruit to eat. Nothing whatsoever, but in the forest all these are not unavailable, rather to dwell amidst rapacious animals, or to enter into fire, than remain with a bad wife. O fair one, rather the pains of the disease or venom are bearable, but the words of a bad wife are hard to bear. Death is far better than that. Those that are under the control of their wives know that they never get their peace of mind until they are laid on their funeral pyres. They never see the fruits of what they daily do. They have no fame anywhere, neither in this world nor in the next. Ultimately, the fruit is this, that they have to go to hell and remain there. His life is verily a heavy burden, who is without any name or fame. Never it is for the least good that many co-wives remain at one place, when by taking one wife only a man does not become happy. Then imagine how painful it becomes to have many wives. O Gange, go to Shiva. O Saraswati, go to Brahma. Let the good-natured Kamala residing on the lotus remain with me. He gets in this world happiness and dharma, and in the next mukti, whose wife is chaste and obedient. In fact, he is mukta, pure and happy, whose wife is chaste. And he whose wife is foul-natured is rendered impure, happy, unhappy, and dead whilst he is living. Here ends the 6th chapter of the 9th book on the coming in this world of Lakshmi, Ganga and Saraswati in the Mahapuranam, Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kabari. Om Tuya Mata Chipita Tuya Tuya Bandhu Shadra Sakatu.